They'll tell you it's all about freedom, patriotism, democracy, whatever sells best this year. But let's talk numbers. $3,450 to $5,000. That's the price to outfit just one American soldier with the basics: a helmet, body armor, fatigues, boots, and an M4 rifle. $20,000 to $50,000. Fully equipped with optics, night vision, medical kits, and mission gear, a single soldier's price tag skyrockets. $1 million. That's what it cost per soldier deployed to Afghanistan in 2010. Multiply that by tens of thousands. $30 billion spent in a single year. $20.2 billion. That was just the air conditioning bill for the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, more than NASA's entire budget at the time. $700 million per plane. The cost of a single B-21 Raider stealth bomber. $10 million plus per missile, the price of high-end interceptors. See, conflict isn't just fought, it's bought. Every bullet, every tank, every bomb is a contract, a $1 trillion market. And the ones cashing in? It's not the soldiers. It's the suits writing the invoices. Now let's cut through the smoke. Houston, we got a problem, and a real big one. It's our selective hearing, tuned to what we want to hear. Every religion's God and rules demand peace, but look where we're at. Chaos central. Ever wonder why? Fear's their fuel, and it's a $1 trillion tank. This ain't some preachy nonsense, just the dirtiest, most researched script you'll catch, like every MystiQ drop. Let's dive in. They sell you a fairy tale. The world's a wild mess. Conflicts just flare up like bad weather. Cute, right? But what if that's bunk? What if chaos isn't random? It's rigged. We're talking a $2 trillion a year cash cow, where destruction isn't just a whoops, it's the merchandise. Nations don't stumble into crises, they cook them up fresh. Think that's tinfoil territory? Okay, let's play a little game. Follow the money. And try not to gag. Conflicts don't burn cash, they mint it. Every kaboom, every sob story, every thoughts and prayers tweet. It's not a loss, it's a deposit. Conflict zones? They're Wall Street, with worse Wi-Fi. The defense industry isn't just lucrative, it could be described as a global cartel, running conflict like a corporate empire, from precision missiles to billion-dollar bomb contracts. These giants run the game. Lockheed Martin, missiles so sleek they make a general blush. Raytheon Technologies, precision toys for when close enough won't cut it. BAE Systems, arms so global they'd sell to Mars if it had a pulse. These sharks don't wait for trouble, they chum the waters. But manufacturing destruction isn't enough. They need a steady supply of chaos. Iraq, 2003, US bombs flatten Baghdad. Halliburton, Cheney's old side hustle, snags $138 billion to rebuild. Oh, and $100 to wash a shirt. Your laundry guy's jealous. Ukraine, 2022, $100 billion in US aid. 40% boomerangs to American contractors, because missiles don't grow on trees. Syria's oil, $60 billion in post-chaos profits. Someone sipping crude cocktails. Destroy, rebuild, cash out. They call it aid. We call it the longest-running Ponzi scheme on Earth. The faces on the front line? Polished, rehearsed, and camera-ready, just like a commercial. The real bosses, the ones cutting the checks. Lobbying isn't just influence, it's investment. And conflict? The safest bet on the market. Defense giants funneled over $100 million into Congress in 2023, like tipping the bouncer to let chaos in. Lockheed Martin tossed $4.2 million into campaigns in 2022. A few months later, Congress greenlit $40 billion for Ukraine. Guess who walked away with $19 billion in missile contracts? BlackRock, holding a casual $10 trillion in assets, doubles down on defense stocks and post-conflict reconstruction. They don't just invest in conflict, they invest in cleaning up after. This isn't red versus blue, it's green versus you. Peace? Broke. Perpetual chaos? That's the business model. Here's the filthy twist. The gravy train doesn't stop when the shooting does. That's when it pulls into the station. Refugees, GEO Group's $2.4 billion a year detention empire. Cages are the new condos. PTSD? Big Pharma's $1.5 billion pill party. War's trauma is their happy hour. Haiti's 2010 quake? $13 billion pledged. Half vanished into logistics and defense buddies. Someone's yacht got a new deck. Sudan's famine? $9 billion in aid. Agribusiness pockets billions while kids eat promises. They're not fixing jack. They're turning your heartbreak into the hedge fund. Suffering's just an SKU code now. Conflicts don't wrap. They reboot. Iraq? Stable for a hot minute, then bam! Rumble redux. Ukraine? Guns today, rebuild bids tomorrow. Same Rolodex, new invoice. Sudan? Billions in gold exports mysteriously disappear while warlords keep the conflict hot. And here's the giggle. Contractors don't root for teams. They rig the whole match. US hands Saudi $110 billion in arms in 2017. Next year, Yemeni rebels flash US gear, keeping it spicy. Congo, $20 billion in guns, both factions armed. Chaos so neat it's practically a mining lease. Afghanistan, $88 billion to train locals. $7 billion ends up with the Taliban. Oops, your tax bucks grew legs. Winners? Losers? Who cares? The bank's doing cartwheels. Rewind to the granddaddy, September 11, 2001. Towers fall, and the world doesn't just cry, it cashes a check. Airports flip from catch your flight to drop your pants. X-rays, body scanners, cameras on every soda machine. Globally, $20 trillion sunk into security since then. Conflicts? Yeah, but airports got a juicy cut. TSA's $8 billion a year, 500 plus scanners at $150K a pop. Because now, even your toothpaste's a threat. EU's front techs hit 543 million euros by 2021. Canada blew $70 billion on safety. Private firms nab $2 trillion to zap your socks. CEOs toast $45 Cokes while you shuffle barefoot. Guess who's the chump? Why the rerun? Winning's overrated. Keeping the wheel spinning's where the billions roll. Iraq cracks? Ukraine's next. Sudan bleeds, and those scanners beep. All on your dime. Peace is a beggar. Chaos pays $20 trillion dividend since 9/11. Here's the moment where the illusion shatters. If this was really about security or lives, then why is so much of the truth locked in a vault? Because they thrive on your blind spot. They drape conflicts and flags so you'll cheer for the very people cashing your checks. They flood the news with enemy, enemy, enemy to keep you distracted while CEOs rack up their third jet with your tax money. They whisper, "It's always been this way," so you don't smell the grift. And while you're glued to the latest headline, someone else is moving in the shadows. History tells a story, if you're willing to listen. In the 80s, the CIA backed the Afghan Mujahideen against the Soviets. Decades later, some of those networks evolved into what we now know as Al-Qaeda. The 2003 invasion of Iraq shattered its government, and from that power vacuum, ISIS emerged. In Syria, anti-Assad rebel funding created the perfect storm for extremists to thrive. The result? An enemy that never seems to go away. No, this isn't about direct creation. It's about controlled chaos. A well-fed beast that ensures the machine never runs out of fuel. The nastiest trick? Convincing you that you're powerless while they count your coins. Here's the real kicker. What's this all building toward? Just cash? Power? Or something darker? Older than flags, maybe even older than gold itself. Conflicts aren't flukes, they're gold mines. For who? Let's poke some holes. Who's chasing the next resource grab? Who's banking on chaos to cash out? Rare minerals, hot markets, coincidence or calculated? This ain't finger pointing, it's squinting at the shadows. Follow the money and you just don't see today, you spot tomorrow's invoice. This isn't theory, it's a business plan, centuries in the black. And why does it keep running? because most people don't clock it. But you just did. Years from now, maybe we, or our kids' kids, will see the full truth, when today's files declassify or a whistleblower steps up. Even then, most will be buried, downplayed, dismissed. So, for now, the patterns repeat, the profits flow, and the players stay the same. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the truth is hiding in plain sight. Don't take our word for it. Question, dig, and decide for yourself.